Well, that didn't quite go as I had originally planned, but here we are. Welcome to Bacon's First Live. I'm your host, Big Bacon, and this is the Bacon Bunker. So, I'm kind of stumped. Originally, I had planned on starting on my Hall of Heroes diorama tonight, and I'm locked. I have no clue what to do. Problem is that I isn't that I don't have any ideas, it's that I've got too many ideas. So, anybody got some suggestions? Because all I'm doing is I'm skinning back, sidewalls, roof, floor of one of these shelf cubicles. Um, Originally, I was thinking something like I don't know, like a Greek temple, like ruins, something like that. Something epic, something monumental. And part of me is sitting there thinking, well, they're a bunch of elite people. I mean, they'd make a great team when it came to toy reviewing. So maybe a studio and a sewer or a slaughter room, like a bathroom covered in blood. Although I think that might be a little too graphic for some people. Well, Robert, you got any ideas? Okay. It's funny because I'm saying this and then I'm having to look down here and waiting. Fish tank stuffs. Oh, like the cast resin decorations. Interesting. My only issue is I have no idea how to do marble texturing, marble coloration. Hmm. Maybe sandstone? Well, no, I'm saying from the time I say it, I have enough time to look down here and okay, I just now started putting my fingers up on the stream, so I don't know what kind of lag or delay is going on here. Well, I figured out how to get a video playing on here. Unfortunately, I did not time it right. I guarantee it's there so that if I sit here going, it gives me time to, run away before you all actually see it. So I'm just using my camera and microphone. Big Bacon is live. No way. Fun times. So, what were your thoughts on that? Oh, of course, it's Laser Pants' fault. With a mouth like his, they have to give us a video delay between actually saying it. So the censor gods can. Oh, did you see what Lawrence posted today? The picture from Shit Stain Island was the exclusive peek at the dockhead. When in doubt, create a project. I need a block. It's amazing how you think you've got everything put where you need it, and nothing is where it belongs. Might be a little wide for a dumpster base. What do you think? Although, spatially, it's not bad. Okay. So, anything new going on with you, my man? Just a little bit longer there. Nice. Yeah, my Turkey Day video has already been uploaded. My stupid ass. Hey, Largo's here. My stupid ass forgot to acknowledge that it was Turkey Day on the video. But the one after it is set up and decorated for Christmas for Black Friday, so oh, absolutely. They're doing that mental health awareness thing, right? I am very much looking forward to that. Hey, Jim, what time is that kicking off? It lost a little bit at the end, but I don't need the end. Jim didn't stick around. Got all that extra. Don't know what I'm going to do with it all. Yeah. You know what time they're kicking that thing off? Great. I'm having Thanksgiving lunch at 2. Yeah, about 270. Thanks for asking. Where'd I make that line? Coffee. What? Ooh, coffee does sound good. My fat ass forgot to make some before I came on. Yeah, 6 p.m. Central, so 7 o'clock Eastern. Okay, yeah, definitely within my time frame. Who here wants to bet how long it'll take before I cut my thumb off? It's a great thing about working with this foam board. I only have to score the paper and then. Okay, I didn't score that one deep enough. If it's on a live, you'll get a ton of views. I beg to differ. There's that sound. Such a lovely sound. Yeah, one thing I've learned is nothing. Nothing goes smoothly. Okay. I need a figure. Come on, Shorty McShort. Not you, Ant-Man. Yeah, it'll work as a dumpster. So, well, we got 5 people in here now. Holy crap! I've got 5 people viewing. It's a Christmas miracle. Um, so just out of curiosity, Jim, what prompted the subject matter of your Thanksgiving live? You see, we cheat by using this as the base inside and gluing everything around the outside together, and then I don't have to fill it with as many bags and junk and everything else. 5 peeps. Long-term low-grade depression. Hmm. Well, first off, I'm sorry you have to go through that. Um, I myself have PTSD, combat related, so fun times there. Um, so yeah, the bouts of depression, they certainly hit me frequently, as well as anxiety and self-esteem issues and survivor's guilt and all the fun stuff that comes in that package. And yeah, the holidays are definitely a time for it. Okay, on the board. Okay, let's see here. Comments. T-Dog is here. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you're the guy who requested I start singing cadence in my videos. Jim, Jim, Jim. I love you, Jim. Well, a lot of them I've been working on spicing up just a little bit. So, did it live up to your standard, or does it need work? Because I am out of practice. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, reading is a great thing, but you don't have to follow what the sheep want to read. I'm trying to remember what movie it was I was watching where, and I'm sure it's probably a popular movie, so I'm going to get hammered in the comments. A gentleman, actually, I think it was Superman, the original one, Gene Hackman, talking about how some people can read Plato and come away with nothing, and others can read a syrup bottle and unlock the secrets of the universe. Kids shelf is like yours, heaps of figures. Why are you keeping your kids on a shelf, man? What did I do with that first? Fun times. The only thing that really sucks is trying to glue to this freaking cheap ass floral foam. I might just gouge the corners off of this and create a pole system. What kind of collabs are you thinking? I mean, I keep messaging Disturbed, but they don't want to do any collaborations with me. Okay. So height wise, for the dumpster without the risers. With the risers, probably about mid chest. And anybody who's ever had to lift open one of those lids knows that the back is always beyond arm's reach. So yeah, it works about right. A little bit of smoothing of the edges. And Vincent D'Onofrio will have somewhere to hide the bodies. Well, I don't know if anybody's interested, but at the top of the chat is the link if y'all want to jump in. Have a little verbal conversation instead of waiting on me to notice what you wrote. Yeah, I don't know if Jim is still here or not, but I read most of these fiction books that they put out now, and it's like there's no creativity, there's no originality. But I mean, I'll pick up a psychology book and it unlocks the secrets of the universe. And sometimes the most off the wall people can have interesting points, even if they're complete jackasses. Nietzsche, for example. Yeah, Nietzsche's a complete madman. But it's easy reading his work to figure out why so many people latched onto it as much as they did. See, I'll be able to put things in my dumpster like the one-armed Kenobi. I'm so looking forward to that. Also, I got to source one of those 10 looking business signs for the outside wall. I haven't decided if I want to do extensive enterprises or not. Hmm. Back up to 5. Woohoo! I ain't pulling down ninja numbers, but I ain't ninja, so or am I? You know, Robert, as I'm sitting here looking at the lag difference between what I'm seeing on the stream as it's going and when it actually comes across on the I'm starting to think maybe that's why I keep we keep walking over each other because I don't realize how long ago you said what you said and you've already started saying something else. Oh hey, something lit up. Guest. Oh hey, add to stage.
Hey, man.
Holy crap. Ladies and gentlemen, from the mysterious land of Kentucky, where mothers are cousins and everything in between, my man Infinite.
Well, I didn't want to crash your party, but you said jump on, so I did.
Well, I mean, with as few people that are in here, it's just a little bit easier conversing than it is reading and waiting for response, and especially
Right,
with the way
exactly.
nobody told me I'd have time to go pop a pizza in, cook it, bring it back, see myself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I did one live alone just to test StreamYard, and it was just me pretty much unboxing stuff. And yeah, that's what happened. It was just like there was a whole lot of nothing, and blah, blah, blah.
Oh goodness. So looks like T Dog dropped out, which is a shame because I don't really get much interaction with that guy. But I mean, he requested cadence. I started giving him cadence. Been a while since I've done it. I should probably do it again. Mm,
Yeah, it looks like Largo might join us.
yeah, you mentioned it.
Yeah, cool. Then we'll have a live, real live.
So if I go the Greek route,
hmm
probably won't do a ceiling for the display. It'll be like an outdoor ruin.
Yeah. No, I like that
Probably
idea. I like
wall
it a lot.
along the back, wall along the side, but then I need to have a decorative image behind it because it'll be toppled wall.
Right.
So
I really like that idea. Um,
maybe medieval.
especially for your Hall of Heroes.
Yeah, like a medieval castle ruin.
That might be good.
Kind of a gothic look to it.
Yeah.
Oh God, I did not say that on a live. Todd, stay off my screen. Batman is not here. Actually, Todd McFarlane, you're welcome to jump on the screen. It's not like I'm just doing this for the views. Actually, I
I'm
am.
just saying that I can't make a line of figures all women.
I'm debating with myself about getting another one of these and replacing Chad's head.
Man, I'm serious. I did debate that figure for a kingpin because, you know, I like Vala and all, but God, he made that kingpin too damn large. I mean, that's ridiculous size for the kingpin.
Well, I mean, when you see him on a lot of the pages where he's by himself, he just looks like the giant. imposing
Oh,
Bango
Jim
Bongo,
joined us.
baby.
Hey, how you doing there, Mr. Largo?
If I got any better, I don't think I could stand it. How you guys
Cool.
doing?
So you're almost as good as me then.
Yep. Yep. Oh Lord, how you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Still breathing.
I feel like I
Gotta
just saw
start
you
somewhere.
yesterday.
It's kind of like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird.
we-
You'll run into folks, and you see them once in a blue moon, and then you see them a couple times in a week. Just never know.
I'm gonna send you something. Is email the best way to reach you?
Yeah, either that or the Instagram. I
Okay.
check both of those. I hardly
Okay,
ever check my email. I should do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a picture of my wife's Scoob van because she
Oh, okay.
noticed something about it. Was like yours is a little more teal than hers. Oh, more green than hers. I'm sorry.
I know there was another version in a different
Uh-huh.
scale, but I don't know what all they put out because a lot of it just ended
Right.
up in the UK. We didn't get it here in the States. I say here like
Right.
I'm in the States still.
I forget you're not in the
Ye-
States.
I do too. It's like you can take the
Yeah.
boy out of Tennessee, but you can't take the Tennessee out of the boy.
Oh, what part of Tennessee you're from?
Well, my family's from Knoxville. My daddy's from a little
Okay.
place called Rocky Branch. There's, like population 200. Salute, like hee haw. But being in the military, my dad was active duty, and then I went in the military. I've had more addresses and birthdays, so I didn't grow up there. But every Christmas and holiday, we'd always go back and see, the in-laws and outlaws.
Right. Okay. Okay. I didn't realize you actually live so close to where I live then, because I'm in
Yeah.
Kentucky. Yeah.
Just hoot and holler down the road, as we used to say.
Right.
Ohio,
Exactly.
Kentucky, Tennessee.
Oh.
Actually, Guatemala.
Pretty much. Just straight line down. Just you could technically drive here through Mexico, but I would not advise it. It's a challenge.
Yeah, me and the police do not get along.
Yeah. It's a strange and wonderful culture in that whole thoroughfare from south of the border to down here in Guatemala. But here things are pretty mellow.
I'd say take a boat, but cartel interdictors.
Yeah, day-to-day life, you don't run into much of that here. But I do have a few friends that are in Mexico, and they say that there's certain areas it's no bueno, not great. So
yeah, I've never been to Mexico, and I don't plan on going.
yeah, some of it's beautiful, but it's like any country.
Right.
It's got its dark spots.
Right.
So
my cousin is planning on marrying somewhere in South America. And
well, if you're coming, I was going to say, coming from Kentucky, I'd imagine it's going to marry a cousin.
No, this cousin's actually in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
But is she from Kentucky?
No, she's not. But anyway, they're getting married in South America, and it's somewhere that they recommend you don't travel to. And I forget where it is now, but it's like, well, that's a good enough reason for me not to go. Saves me that traveling.
If you're not bilingual and if you're not of a darker complexion, there are some places you're just probably not welcome.
Yeah.
I mean, they won't be outright mean to you, but they'll let you know that they're not real fond of gringos.
Right.
Here, people are really friendly for the most part. Even if you're not fully fluent, which I'm not. I'm not a very good Spanish speaker. I know how to ask for beer and where's the bathroom.
Uno cerveza, por favor.
Exactly. But as long as you give it a try, as long as you try to communicate, they'll meet you halfway. A lot of them are, they know a little bit of English, so you can muddle through. And I first landed in the country next door, which is Belize. They actually do speak
Uh-huh.
English as their primary language, but
Oh, okay.
uh, people were nicer here in Guatemala, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kind of meandered over here.
Cool.
Yep.
That's yeah. I don't
Kind of
know much
wanted.
about Guatemala.
In the StreamYard, both of you have this thing going on where your heads are. But on the stream, it's fine. So
Weird.
Yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of internet gremlins. I don't know how much of it's StreamYard related or, internet here is not the highest of caliber. So there are days it'll stutter and sputter, and it's very frustrating because, Will and I have all kinds of stuff we want to do. And it's like, man, I can't do it live. My system will probably crash. And like you guys, sometimes, you'll step on each other because of the delay. Will and I do that to each other all the time. We don't mean to, but it's that we're not hearing each other we're not synced.
Right.
So, but yeah, I have a lot of fun with Will. He's my brother from another mother, just more follically challenged. He's got a good sense of humor. We think alike on topics for doing stuff, and we just kind of hit it off like you guys. Maybe we met in one of the chats on Grindhead Jim show,
Oh,
and
cool.
it's like you like stuff, I like stuff. Yeah, we just started chatting, and then I started coming up with some ideas for doing some videos, and he's like, "Yeah, we could do that." So it just kind of, there's no plan. Nobody planned anything. You just kind of wander into things. That's my way.
we apologize.
Yep. Always
Put
got to
the
remember to
TV
turn the
on
volume
mute.
down somewhere.
Yeah, put the TV on mute.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, because I hear like a 2-second delay from the TV to what I say.
Okay, well, it just popped up on the actual feed. The statement I brought up. So yeah,
It takes a while.
week and a half.
Yeah. It always reminds me of I used to listen to a lot of talk radio on AM when I was younger. And there's always that one knucklehead that'll call in and doesn't turn down their radio so they get the reverb. And the DJ's telling them, "Man, turn your radio down." It's like,
Yeah.
what?
What are you talking about?
I can't hear you. The radio's too loud. Hang on.
Exactly. There's one in every crowd.
Oh Lord, that's funny. So Thursday you're doing the live stream, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Like I was mentioning to Big Bacon there, we did a men's mental health check-in a couple months ago because you know how they say good things come in threes or bad things or whatever the saying is. I'll muddle it, but
yeah,
I had my father-in-law died. I had some financial stuff go belly up, and we had a problem with our electrical grid here in my local area, all within 1 or 2 days of each other. And it was just like, dude, I was just got loaded on. And so came out of that, and I was talking with Will, and it's like, I'm not the only one that gets, all this crap dumped on me. So I'm certain there's some people who could use some coping skills to deal with some of this crap.
right.
So we put something together, and a lot of people, the feedback was really good. People were like, you know what? I was raised, manly men don't talk about their feelers. And it's like, well, I was too, but you got to move on from that. And so this is kind of in the spirit of that. Holidays suck. I don't like the holidays for many reasons. Like some guys, I'm divorced and remarried. Don't have good connections with my first family there. I am a stranger in a strange land by choice. But there's, you get the funk can come on when you're watching all the holiday movies, and, there's all the warm, fuzzy stuff going. And it's just like, I can't take it. I don't need that. I'm just going to put my head under the covers and that's not the right response. So I thought it might be good to put something out there to remind people that there's other better coping skills than chain smoking and whiskey. Not that those are terrible, but probably shouldn't be your first choice.
Man, I don't
Oh,
know what's wrong with you
about
guys. Don't
that.
you know smoke kill you? Yeah. Do you know that they make a 55-gallon tub of chew?
Hoo-wee. That was very popular when I was in the service because most guys, you didn't want to smoke, but a lot of people would carry, the little skull or something in their back pocket. I never was big on chew. I've tried it, that and snuff and all that. I tried it all, but
Yeah, I've
I,
tried those too. I've never liked them.
I was in Army transportation. Big thing about transpo, according to DOD regulations, you're not allowed to smoke in a government vehicle.
That it? Yep.
First time they threw me in a truck with somebody, redneck boy from West Virginia. And I used to smoke those Black and Milds like they were nothing. Like I go through like 4 packs a day.
Wow.
And I'm there going, and he just, here you go, try that. I owe him an ass beating now because 20 some years later, I'm still doing the shit.
Yep. Nicotine is a blessing and a curse, but there are worse things to be addicted to, I guess, like Home Shopping Network.
Well, I gave up smoking by going to the chew. I got off the chew initially by using the patch. Got off the patch by switching to meth. So, at that point I was tobacco.
Yeah, when the remedy is worse than the malady.
Yeah.
Maybe there is that.
Well, anyway, I fully plan to be at the at your live on Thursday because that's just fascinating and cool to me. Yeah, I mentioned like I said in the chat, I was mentioned it to a couple of people at work, and they were all like, "Wow, that's cool."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, I fully plan to join it."
My company had Thanksgiving off, which was a miracle.
Yeah. Well, here Thanksgiving is just another day. I mean, they're used to white folk coming in and stealing their food, but they don't celebrate it. Yeah. But yeah, most guys that saw the first time I did it, they're like, I'd love to talk with some guys about this, but most of the guys in my friend group, it's like they get real uncomfortable and they want to change the subject to sports or something real quick. They don't want to talk about their feelers. It's like, well, I get it. I know. All my uncles and everybody, they're the same way. They don't talk about stuff. So
between you and Ninja's done a couple of man check-ins. And Tony recently posted something. It's like,
man,
it's nice that the community's getting out there at least a little bit in front of it.
That video by Tony, I mean, it was like
it's hard. It's hard to watch.
It's hard to watch, but I'm really love that he did that because it was like, wow, that's stuff that needed to be said.
Oh yeah. And I have my issues, but I'm very thankful that I don't have any post-traumatic stress like some other brothers in arms.
Right.
I watched my daddy go through that. He was a Navy corpsman in Vietnam, which means he was in the field, with the Marines, and he saw some stuff he doesn't talk about. He won't talk about.
Right.
But I got to see the after effects of that and how it affected him with, the nightmares and other stuff that, it's not fun. And there's back then they'd never really, late 70s, late 60s, early 70s. They didn't know how to help servicemen that were dealing with that kind of stuff.
Right.
But decades before that, it was shell shocked. Oh, you're shell shocked. It's like, no, man, I got serious problems, but they didn't know what to do about it. So fortunately, medicine has gotten a little better, even though it's not great. And sometimes the veterans, well, let's just say the VA could use some improvement. There are some areas where they fall short.
Exactly.
Amen.
Yeah. My uncle, I saw pieces of it. I never saw the full thing, but I did see pieces of it. and my young brain was not really capable of comprehending the full amount. And it was like I do remember being scared of my uncle when I was older, and I didn't know why.
Yeah.
And it was like years later, I was like, "Oh, okay, so this was what was going on, and now I understand it." But
Yeah, I had a couple of
So,
uncles in my family that were the mean drunks, and it's like they
mhm,
weren't mean folks, but that was how they coped, and they definitely changed their personality when they'd get the gin bottle out.
yeah, my uncle didn't even need the gin bottle. I mean,
Mm,
it was that rough.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a lot better now.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
for me, the
But
first 4 years were the worst.
yeah.
It's 20 plus years now, so most of my issues just revolve around specific dates.
Hmm.
I know October is always going to be kind of a difficult time for me. I'm through October and now it's November. Now it's pay for Christmas time. So
Yeah. No stress there.
oh yeah, none at
Yeah.
all.
And that's kind of the thing with the seasonal affective disorder too. It's like it's not just the weather and the mood; it's certain holidays
Mhm,
that trigger things. Some people didn't have great families growing up, so those holiday seasons, they're not a Hallmark greeting card for them. So
right.
you just and one of the things we'll talk about on Thursdays, you got to make your own traditions, man. You got to find what works. Get with get in where you fit in. Go have coffee with a friend, bullshit on the line like we're doing. Find an outlet and
Mhm.
find the things that work to give you a little bit of joy in your life when things are dark. It's that simple, you know. But
My
it's also
wife
that complicated at the same time.
has this tradition every year, and it's one of the things I was like, I really realized, okay, life is good now. 'Cause, we won't get
Mm,
into all that. But I realized life is good now. It's like on somewhere around the 23rd of December. It's this whole day of just snacks, watching Christmas movies. And her kids are like just laying in the floor watching Christmas movies, how whatever way, whether we have it physical media, streaming, whatever we have.
yep.
And it's just an all day and all night thing. And it's really nice. And it's
Yeah.
like every year I deep down I look forward to it because even though like most of the time I'm here working, but it's like I'm gonna pop out on my breaks and like, yo, everybody, it's Christmas time, guys. We're doing the Christmas thing now.
It's
And my
cool.
and our daughter
I,
has joined in on it, so it's like really I mean, that's a perfect example of, what you were
yeah.
saying, make your own traditions. And it's like this was my wife's tradition, which I was like, okay, first time I heard it, and then boom, it happened, and I'm like, oh, this is so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With marrying a Guatemalan, obviously different culture, different traditions. Most of them good. However, one thing that kind of tripped me up is I tend to be a loner. I like just being alone, me and a book and some music, and have my little man cave. Don't come in. I try not to be too isolated because she doesn't get that. She's a people person most of the time, and she's got cousins and everybody's around. Hey, Ted.
Hey, Ted.
who else has a show going on right now?
I'm
I'm
not
not
sure.
sure.
I
I
just
really don't.
randomly, yeah. I just sat down and had some coffee and saw you guys were up.
The Shitstain Island finally decided to go live. Oh, that happened.
That stuff's not even on my radar anymore.
Why?
I don't have time for the drama and silliness. It's like it's
Why?
Yeah.
plastic stuff, man. Just enjoy what you enjoy.
Hey,
I
Ted, I've
like,
been filming this.
ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I want to pull the trigger on those Street Fighters, but it's like, man, I can't get into another line. I need to start paring down, not adding another one. But they do look cool. But it's like I like Action Force. I like what Bobby Val has done with the line. I really like the storyline. But I like GI Joe too. You can
Right.
like both. You don't have to pick a camp. It's not red and blue or whatever. It's not whether
Right.
you got a star on your belly or a sneasel or whatever. if you want to go Dr. Seuss. But
I'm not.
people get so weird about
Yeah,
that.
I'm not going into the Street Fighter line because I was never a big Street Fighter fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I always liked Chun-Li. Chun-Li was one of my favorite characters to play.
Yeah.
So, and everybody was bragging on that figure. I'm like, okay, I want to see this figure because I do like Chun-Li. And it's a good figure.
Cool. Yeah, I never played much of the game, but I kind of like the concept of it. But yeah, it's like I can't go down that road. I just
No, I mean, it's a fine line. It's like, yeah, I was like, but then I went, okay, I have the Street Fighter G.I. Joe one.
oh yeah.
I have the Microman one, which a lot of people don't realize Microman did a very brief Street Fighter line, and Chun-Li was really the only thing they ever made. And then I
Yeah, I
went,
didn't know that.
yeah. And I'm like, let me go one step further and get this Jada one.
Yeah, Jada's done some good work. When they started getting away from doing just the vehicles and they started doing figures, at first I was like, they make toy models of cars in metal.
Mhm.
How are they going to do action figures? And then I bought their Universal Monsters and it's like, these are really good. So they got some good designers.
My favorite Universal monster is the creature from the Black Lagoon, and I love that figure they did. I really love it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think they did a line of Halo, didn't they?
Did Jada
Was
do
that Jada? I thought that was Jazzwares, but I don't know. A lot of folks.
Okay. Yeah. My brain. Ooh.
Yeah, I get mixed up. And worse when certain franchises are done by more than one company. It's like you can do this scale and you do that scale. And it's like, Lord, how much stuff are y'all going to put out this year? I can't keep up with all that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's phasing.
It's like back in the day, when we were kids, a company will put out one line of one particular thing and say, okay, here's what's coming out for the year. And you'll get it probably around Christmas time. So that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe once in a while there was like a little bit of peppering it out a little bit. Like I want to say Tiger Force and Python Patrol were kind of scattered out a little bit, but it was like, like 6 months later or something like that.
Yeah, but it would be in big waves.
Yeah.
But the big high price stuff always came out just in time to be purchased for
Christmas.
And God bless layaway. Lord, we all used layaway back then too, especially on those big ticket things. You'd go to, whether it was Kmart or who else had layaway plans back in the day. I remember we used Kmart a lot.
Walmart did for a long time.
Walmart.
I didn't shop for layaway back when I was a kid, so I mean, my parents did, but I didn't.
Well, yeah, but
I will say though,
as you move along, you figure out who Santa is.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so close to finishing off my Marvel Legends because I just wanted to replace my old collection. And it's like very close. I mean, it's like 15 characters away, and most of them I can get on the secondary market.
Yeah.
There might be like 5 that I can't get on the secondary market because they're just too highly priced. So I'm gonna hope that they re-release those soon. And I'm like,
are you in Detroit Steel? Because I got good news for you.
They do seem to be putting out some that people really want that have gotten really high in the the third party or the Evil Bay market, if you will.
Right.
I like the guys from the 70s and the 80s and the comic books I read growing up. And some of these new versions of heroes, I could care less. And they put out so many of them. I just don't know who they are. Don't want to know.
Right. This is a prime example. This Moon Knight.
Yep.
Yeah, that
I'm glad they re-released that.
Yeah, that is exactly the one they did as a Walgreens exclusive. And, I was like, well, I wish they'd improved him a little bit, but you know what? I am not going to get mad that they re-released him.
Yeah. They've done pretty well just because, most of the heroes wear spandex, so they can use one body and do 100 different figures. They don't have to
Right,
do a lot of
exactly.
detail on them. But it's nice when they go the extra step and put a little detail there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do appreciate it, but they don't have to do it on everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I've pared down a lot on Marvel Legends. I've pretty much just kept my favorite characters I read as a kid and a couple of villains I really like because you got to root for the bad guys. But
I wish Marvel Legends would get in the habit of giving us bad guys again.
yeah, they
mean,
were doing well for a while.
The Marvels wave, no villain.
That surprised me.
Captain the Winter Soldier, or not? Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, no villains. I mean, we had to wait how long to get freaking Kingpin and Tracksuit Mafia for Hawkeye?
Yeah.
Didn't they do Zemo in that wave though? In the Captain Winter Soldier?
Yeah, but he was kind of.
Oh yeah, he was kind of being an anti-hero at that point. You're right.
Yeah. And the days of cool build figures seem to have gone away too. Some of the newer ones not great. But who knows? But which one's that? The
compared to the original Hydra Stomper?
Oh yeah.
This thing is
big.
And Kingpin is undersized. So
yeah, I keep threatening to take one of those Hydra Stompers I got on clearance and paint him up for Steel Brigade. He's on my workbench, but I haven't got around to it in my shop.
Well, I know Chad keeps talking about wanting to do a October Guard one.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there just thinking to myself, October Guard, Detroit Steel, the red, white, blue, the Russian. I mean, come on.
It's Rocky.
It would give you the only reason to buy Detroit Steel.
Yeah, it's not a character that's near and dear to my heart, but
I'm sure somebody out there obscure loves it, but
yeah,
I was kind of weird. I was kind of weirded out by that one because I was like, I read that story and it was just kind of like, okay, yawn.
I was really surprised with old Toddy Mack putting out all the Batman 66 stuff. I loved that show as a kid, even as silly as it is.
Yeah.
I did not realize villains 6-inch and not 7.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Back going,
but one of my favorite villains was King Tut, and nobody's ever made. Well, I think the Factory's Toy Company, the guys that did the Mego style 8-inch, they did a King Tut, but I don't collect that scale.
Action did one.
Oh yeah,
I think so. But then
so
again,
I like the Toddy Mack version. Some of his stuff's good, and some of it just has me shaking my head.
Vincent Price Egghead looked damn good.
It does. I've got that one. I'm looking at it on the shelf over there. I haven't opened it because white suit. It's like that's just going to collect dust. But yeah, I kind of have a eclectic collection. Say that 5 times fast. I collect what I like. Some of it's kind of goofy. Some of it's stuff from when I was a kid, the member berry stuff, and some of it is just stuff I never saw as a kid, but I'm interested.
So, yeah, Bacon, had you seen Largo's last video, where he was like customizing a 12-inch Joe, and then he also got a big gorilla for it?
A 12-inch.
Yeah.
I have 3 12-inch Joes. Okay.
Well,
one of them
on that.
That's what I was.
Yeah, the sidebar on that is he got a is it 18-inch gorilla?
When he's really excited, he's 18. Mostly he's 17. But yeah, this is the one that Hasbro gave us with the set, and then this is what his replacement is. So
yeah, that is a cool freaking gorilla, and I can go with any scale.
That's Kong one, right?
Well, he's kind of a Kong wannabe. He's from Leonard. They just call him the Big Boss Gorilla, and they put him out as a part of a set they've been doing with a dinosaur. I mean, it's obviously inspired by the kaiju movies, but he's just a big old gorilla. He's not affiliated. Yeah. The guys that did the core and other interesting stuff, they've been doing some monster stuff that's really cool.
Yeah, this is
And
like to build a figure.
He does seem a bit diminutive.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, they just they used to put out some good ones. I've got
insurance doesn't pay for Viagra. One that does.
Yeah. Oh, what was the one they did from the Black Widow movie was terrible, but the Build-A-Figure from that set was the big old Russian Iron Man villain.
Oh, Crimson Dynamo. I just finished that.
Yeah.
One.
I like that.
I did like that figure.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of literally the mini decrease entries into mini Sentinels.
Oh, that's an idea.
So if anybody needs a body, I got one.
Yeah, I literally bought that. I literally bought that all secondhand. The whole Build-A-Figure, with the exception of whoever came with Red Guardian. I can't remember, but I did buy that figure. But
yeah, I got the 2-pack one, so I didn't even.
Yeah, no, I literally bought almost all of that just purely secondhand market, just waiting for a deal, and I got it.
There are some good deals out there, especially now, because like some folks have reported on, a lot of folks that got into collecting because they were cooped up because of the coof, they're getting out of collecting. They weren't really that big into it, and they got other stuff going on. So people are selling off collections pretty cheap. Well, reasonable. So you can get some bargains out there.
That's how I got my Marvel Legends collection done so fast, because I bought a collection, and it was like tons of stuff that were fairly recent. And it's like, boom, this checks a lot of boxes I've already got.
My problem these days is I got caviar tastes on a hamburger budget. I'm really into these Mafex, the Japanese imports. Man, they're beautiful. They're doing the classic heroes now. They did the Iron Man and his old yellow and red. They're doing a Captain America, the old, the 1970s blue version. I'm hoping they'll do a Falcon, because nobody's done a good Falcon in a long time.
Right. I mean, Mafex, it's like, God, they're so expensive, but at the same time, I've learned with that Magneto, you're never going to need another one.
Exactly. There's the Superman and Batman they did from the Hush line. That's the quintessential, man. I don't need another one. Because you know how it is. Every time you buy one, you hope this is the one. It's kind of like Sam on Quantum Leap. I hope this is the leap home. It's like, and then you get it, and it's like, no, the elbows aren't right, or something's here, and they didn't get the uniform right, or Mafex. They have some really good engineers that dial that stuff in. The sculpts are pretty, but they are very expensive.
Right. I kind of got my eye on that that Superman that you have behind you.
Oh yeah, he's been re-released.
Yeah, so
just recently. You won't regret him if you can take out a mortgage or sell a kidney. You can pick one up.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe tax time I might try to track him down, but just because I'm a big Superman fan. I am, always have been.
I like classic Superman. Some of the newer iterations are kind of wonky.
Greatest hero ever to be released as a Mafex. And then I might dive in.
Howard.
Yeah. I kind of wish they'd done him like they did him in the comic books. There was a Silver Surfer line Toy Biz did. They put out a little figurine of Howard the Duck that was the way he looked in the comics, but it was just a figurine. It didn't move or anything.
Right.
Howard needs some love for sure.
Now, I didn't realize that was from the Party Thor episode where he married Darcy. Yeah, I mean, from the waist up, it's not a bad figure. There's just nothing below the waist. Apparently,
that's what
talking to my wife.
I wasn't going there.
I went there.
I'm I'm looking around for Chad. Where's Chad at? Come on.
So I would like to point something out that I realized recently when I'm
Okay.
doing a review. The 3 Viper pack. Weapons, accessories, all nice, different coloration, different skin tone, all very nicely done. They give them blast effects. Some of them were weird,
Yeah.
especially this one. The one I hear everybody say is the best effect they've made.
Okay.
The
Yeah, I
switch.
don't like that one.
You do realize this is backwards, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Physics doesn't work that way with ballistics.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The first one out would actually be furthest away.
Well, you know, most of those folks designing these have never seen a real firearm in their lives.
Sure
Yeah, but
they have.
here's what
The
I
museum.
say. The thing I
Well,
say
yeah.
about the firearm issue is that, okay, my knowledge of firearms comes from G.I. Joe, literally. Okay. I mean, it comes from that. If you ever noticed on the side of the card, it was like, comes with
Yeah.
M80. And, that's really my knowledge of firearms. But you know what? I know there's Google. And I know I can type in something that says machine gun types and do a lot of research in an hour and get an idea
Yeah.
of a lot of things about machine guns.
And there are a lot of veterans who do YouTubes that
Yeah.
do some great videos on classic firearms, things
Hmm.
from different eras, whether it be World War II
Right.
or Vietnam. Oh, yeah.
But
So one of my favorites, there's a fella, he's called Garand Thumb. And he's got a good sense of humor. He shows off some good tactical gear.
mhm,
I'm not a what do you call it? I'm not an aficionado. I'm not building a fallout shelter and preparing for the zombie apocalypse, but I do appreciate the engineering of a good firearm. So I
right.
like watching some of that stuff, but I'm not an expert. I know the hard things come out the barrel.
Yeah. It's a
The
simple
bacon
point and
bunker
click.
is coated in camo netting.
Sweet.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very simple point and click interface. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
If you can find a cat video, you can find a little bit of research when you're designing a toy, you would think,
Right.
but who knows?
I mean, as little as I know about firearms, even I realize Sergeant Slaughter should not have come with an AK-47.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it?
No, it makes absolutely no sense.
Culturally, he never used one in any of the cartoons or anything, unless he might have picked it up off the ground. But that's just
Yeah,
it
Right.
unless
doesn't
he
make
gets
sense.
back a Cobra officer head and
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I can understand the argument for red laser, blue laser. Let's not use real weapons because
Mhm.
we're afraid of stuff. But on the other hand, it's like you're doing a military line or a military adjacent line with special forces type operators.
Yeah.
Pick a side. Either you're doing science fiction and you're doing laser pistols and zappers, or you're doing something that looks somewhat realistic. Go one way or the other. But
Yeah,
they
even if
tried
you're
with that first wave that god awful thing they gave Roadblock that looked
oh
like a
god.
sci-fi curling iron. It's like, okay, maybe you went a little too far the other way.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, Crimson Guards. They had this gun they
Mhm.
totally made up. It was
Yeah.
not a real gun in the original G.I. Joe line. So in the new one, they give them what I think looks like an M16. And I'm like, you just went the wrong way, guys.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense either. They wouldn't
Right.
use that. But again, a lot of the folks, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, these big companies when they're coming up with this stuff, but it almost seems like if you're a fan of a certain type of product or an intellectual property, they go out of their way not to hire you. It's like, oh, you know too much, because then you'll tell me that what I'm doing is dumb, so I'm not going to hire you.
and
What?
that's
That
the
is true.
problem.
I don't get it. But
Yeah, I
it's
don't
easy to
either.
armchair quarterback
Working
too.
on it, we have that going on.
Hmm.
Aaron's here. Yay. Welcome, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Howdy.
So this guy just released a
Hey, I
short.
forgot I can see the comments here.
Yeah, recently he released a short where he took all the backgrounds, the boxes that the Joes come in with that lovely black and white art, and he cut it all up and attached it all to a big foam board with trees painted on. I mean, it was beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to track that down.
If I had my druthers, I would love to get a hold of some of the art they use on those old late 1960s, early 70s GI Joe Adventure Team boxes. It was all like hand painted art that they did. Very cool.
Beautiful.
Reminded me of
There's
some of those
very nice,
like the old what was it, Soldier of Fortune magazines, those kind of
yeah.
covers where it's all painted art. I like that style. Of course, I like
Very
Velvet Elvis too.
Rockwell.
So
Very Rockwell-esque
yeah.
in the way it's done.
Yeah, I gotta admit, yeah, that's some really nice stuff.
And they had good marketing because if the art was done well, even if the figure wasn't that great, you'd see the art and it's like, hey, mom, I want that because look at that.
How many
They
times did
draw
we
you
get
in.
sold on a less than stellar toy that it was like, ooh, good art on the side there. I'm gonna go for that. Yeah, we
Pretty
did.
much.
Yeah, it
I
happened.
don't know how many 80s, 90s Joes you look at, and it's the card art is like,
Yeah.
yeah, and then you look at the figure, you're like, ah,
Yeah. This
okay.
plastic doesn't look like that card art. Yep.
Vulcan.
Oh,
Although
yeah.
his
Bless their hearts.
beautiful.
Yeah, that newer this classified Falcon was definitely kind of a misfire. That was sad.
Yeah, I'm getting out of classified just because all the issues that people are having, all the stuff that's going on. I'm like, my major ones right now are the Dreadnoks because I just love the Dreadnoks,
Yeah, they're cool.
and the comedy trio of Bazooka, Quick Kick, and Low and Alpine. I gotta complete
Alpine.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
'cause
cool.
those guys, I just love them in the
Has a
cartoon.
fudgy bar.
It's a fudgy bar. With a fudgy bar. Love the
But
fudgy bar.
yeah, I tried them both, and for me, Action Force won out. The quality's better.
Oh
I
yeah.
like the storyline. So if I want, Joe's, I'll go back and get the classic Joe's, either the
Mhm.
4-inch anniversary style or the O-ring, and I'm happy with that. I don't need all of my stuff to be in the same scale,
No.
so it's cool.
That was the reason I got into 6-inch to begin with.
Yeah.
Was the 4-inch Marvel Universe line
Mm-hmm.
was just a little bit big compared to the 4-inch Joes, whereas the 118 Star Wars were really tiny because they were actually 3 3/4 and nothing scaled right. And I got the 6-inch lines, and Star Wars still doesn't scale right.
No, it's frustrating because you would think you'd want things. Manufacturers would want to make lines that are compatible with other lines that are successful because they know people want to put them together, but they just don't do that.
No, that's true.
That's one thing I've liked about the 1/6 scale. I've just recently got back into that, and it's like it's very customizable. You can put any kind of uniform, and there are a lot of 1/6 scale things out there that people have been making for years that I wasn't on my radar, but
Right.
you can pretty much put together anything you like and make it compatible. So I've been looking at stuff from other lines that like old Captain Action. A lot of people don't know he has some GI Joe DNA in his background.
He does.
Yep. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. You just kind of have to figure out mix and match and what works for you. So
Yeah. I'm figuring
I've just
after
learned
you're
I'm not a
figuring
completist. I don't do whole
Yeah.
lines anymore, except with
No.
exceptions of like Action Force. I try to get everything for that, and you just can't buy it all anymore. I don't have
No,
that
you can't.
disposable income or shelf space.
Yeah,
I refuse to buy online. So for a line like GI Joe, that is half of it is online exclusive, whether it be
I
Amazon,
hate exclusives. Yeah.
Pulse.
Oh yeah.
I walk into a store with so much money in my pocket. my first priority are Joe's, which are never on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm looking for
Very.
my Marbles, which are about 3 lines behind.
Yeah.
Well, I've already got all that. So I've got like 40 Star Wars figures down here I've picked up that I haven't gotten an opening yet. It's insane.
Well, because of my my expat living, online is probably the only way I can get a lot of the stuff. But you know, you network. I've got friends in the States, and I'll let them know. It's like, hey, I'm looking for XYZ. If you're out shopping, pick it up. I'll PayPal you. We'll work something out. But yeah, it's super frustrating. I've tried using the Walmart online experience. It sucks. I've tried getting Target exclusives. Never works. Either gets canceled or never shows up. There's always an excuse. I hate it. I hate exclusives.
Yeah.
Let me do the math real quick. 4, 8, 9, 10. 10. Yeah, of the 10 pre-orders I put in at Walmart, I've gotten 1 shipped.
I believe it. Their system is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
I got
Whoever does it, yeah, they need to fire that whole group of people and bring in some kids that know how to use a computer and fix their online shopping experience, because it's bad.
I found a 5s this week. I'm happy.
Yep.
Now that's a set of Walmart exclusives that are easy to find. I've seen them. The whole Bad Batch is pretty easy to track down.
Well, for the longest time, everybody was posting up, hey, look what I found. Hey. And the shipper they sent them in, you look at it, it's got the cardboard behind the first 2 figures. You got 2 figures, 2 of each figure on the display. And it was like, kidding me? Here recently, I went into a Walmart in Michigan this week, and they had 5 5s.
Huh.
Okay.
Are they getting short packed in the boxes or something? Is that why they're hard to find in some places?
Well, no. I mean, apparently they sent out the shippers as like, you know what, just get it out there. Just get it out there, and then the rest we'll get to them. We'll get out when we can get it out. So I mean, I found one store that had like 8 techs. I found another store had a handful of wreckers. Found a this week, or yeah, found a hunter this week. So Echo's the only one that's evading me, along with the friggin' Range Viper and.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's another reason Valorverse won out for me was I don't have to hunt all over half the hell in Georgia to get stuff. You know, even the exclusive they've done, if I've got a friend going to Joe Fest or one of this, you know, they can pick it up. Or sometimes he'll have it on the website like a couple weeks after he did an event. So it's like you can find stuff. You either go through Bobby on his own website or you go through one of his affiliates. You can get his stuff. It's not that hard. So I've never missed an exclusive that I wanted. Unlike other lines I've tried to chase for a minute and said, phooey, I'm done.
2024 is the year of my first convention. So that'll be fun. And with him going to Walmart now, I can still keep I don't order online policy.
There you go.
Yep. The other thing is that, you know, he
Like
addresses
get it.
he addresses issues when they pop up. And I mean,
He
he's quick
does.
about it. It's like, okay, hey guys, 1% of the shipment has this one little air bubble in it, and it might pop your ankle. If you do it, just contact us. We'll take care of you.
Yeah, they had some scarabs that came out that had a bad hip. I had one that I had a problem with, but it was like 1 out of 100 or so that I've bought. I'm not complaining compared to the track record of some other things I've ordered, and you get bad knees, bad ankles. Boy, it sounds like
I can
guys in
give
their
you a bunch
50s.
on Hasbro stuff. It's like, oh man, what are we doing?
I know. Color paint or missing paint apps. That's another good one.
I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for this fucking thing. That Walgreens exclusive Obi-Wan.
Oh, and don't get me started about the dang scalpers. I hate that too.
There's 15 seconds of pulling it out of the package.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That is so frustrating. Especially when it's something you know you can't replace real easy. I hate that.
Yeah, you should watch his review. It's like it's really heartbreaking because he just pulls it out and it's like, what the?
Boop.
Yeah, it literally
It's,
pops up.
yeah, it's like those ones you've been doing, Robert, the D&D. I love that cartoon, but I don't want to buy those figures. I'm afraid they're going to break. Everybody I've seen has had problems with the ankles or the elbows or
Right.
something, or they just fall apart even while they're still in the package.
Michael Retro Blasting pointed out he thinks that he got a later batch that was solved a lot of the problems because he bought his at Ollie's too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that might be what I have too because I was kind of playing around with them like, okay, yeah, these aren't as bad as I've heard.
Well, I might have to check that. I got to go open the door. My dog's scratching wants in. I'll be right back.
But I don't know that, and then I'm like kind of going, okay, what do I do that? What do I do with the other three? It's like, do I
Sorry about that.
wait for Ollie's or do I try
That's
to?
one of those situations where I might buy something to use as custom fodder,
Mm-hmm.
but that's about the only thing it would be useful for.
Oh, look at the puppy.
She's a little pain in the ass, but I love her. This is Dulcinea. Yeah, when she
Hello,
wants in, she'll let you know. She up her scratch. I usually close the door when I'm on live stream, and she's like, "Nah, I want in." So, okay. It's like, fine.
I actually found a friend of mine who's an artist who's going to paint my pit bull for me.
Nice.
So Lawrence is going to be on the Hall of Heroes.
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
Roman deserves to be on the shelf.
Yeah, it's like I often say, I'm not a big fan of people. I like my dogs. And the more time I spend with people, the more I like my dogs.
Kind of like in Men in Black when Tommy Lee Jones said, "No, the person's reasonable. People are not."
Yeah. People in the crowd. Yeah, George Carlin said something similar too. It's like,
yeah,
you can deal with people on an individual basis, but when you get into groupthink, no. Come on, go find something to do.
Mob mentality is bad.
Especially nowadays, things have gotten wonky. I'm looking at it from the outside, looking in, and it's like, used to you could agree to disagree on a lot of things, whether it be religion, politics, what have you.
Yeah.
I don't get heated too much. It's like we may not be on the same page, but I can still have a beer with you. Nowadays, you can't even be in the same zip code. It's like, come on.
Hell, I like, sometimes I really like those differences.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, oh, you believe in a different invisible man than I do? Okay. Let's hear about that.
Yeah. Are you a worshiper of the giant spaghetti monster in the sky? Okay. Whatever trips your trigger, man.
Yeah, well, let me hear about your beliefs, and then it would just be this fascinating conversation about, oh, okay, yeah, the two sides are different. Okay, that's cool.
And yeah, I love how
and then you find some similarities, and it's like, oh yeah, that's cool too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
nowadays,
one of my
you can't do
thesis on the interconnectivity of major world religions, the overlap and the similarities, and it's like, this is my paper. I mean, this is my perspective. You're allowed to have a belief, but I shouldn't suffer for your belief.
Yep. What's the old saying? It's like your rights. Your right to fling your arms around end where your arm hits my face. Then we're having a problem. It's like I don't know. That's like with Will and I. He's much more into the 1/18 scale stuff. I like it, but I don't have a lot of it. So he covers that. I cover more of the 112 and now the 1/6 stuff. But he gets stuff. I enjoy his joy, to borrow a cheesy term. I like watching him get stuff and his head lights up and he's all like, "Hey, I just got this thing." I was like, "Cool." And I'll show him stuff I got that I know he doesn't collect. And he's like, "Hey, I got this thing." He's like, "Cool."
Yeah.
So
that's the major reason I watch a lot of people. I mean,
yeah.
Dad will have a box of something that was released 20 years ago, and he'll light up like he's 10 years old.
Oh, yeah. Did you see when he got that Death Star? He's loving it. It's awesome.
And
And like,
if you can't be
that's what I've been
happy
doing
for
lately
him
is like,
having what he wants, then what are you doing?
Yeah. If it's not fun, don't do it.
yeah, that's what
People,
I've been doing lately is like, this guy collects, a couple of lines. I don't, but I enjoy watching his stuff because it's like really interesting to me. It's like, oh, this is a cool line and this is a cool thing. And then you with the 1/6 scale stuff the other day, I was just like, oh, that is so cool. And I might do one for myself,
yeah.
just a one off, just to have something that I think is kind of interesting, do my own kind of spin on it. But,
And
you know,
that's kind of where I'm at. It's like I'm not going whole hog on 1/6 scale GI Joe. I don't have the room. I don't have the money, but I kind of have a project. I have a goal and a kind of a mission. It's like I want to at least get recreations of the ones I enjoyed as a kid, and then I'm going to expand the team and the storyline to characters I think should have been in there, like a cryptid hunter. I'm going to do a guy that hunts monsters and he's a Joe.
right.
I'm going to do somebody that's a martial arts guy because they did some karate stuff in GI Joe back in the day. But I always like those the street kung fu guys from some of those '70s movies. So I'm going to have a Joe that does that because I wanna,
Right.
They
that kind of thing.
ninjas? No way.
American ninjas too. Yeah,
Mark Ninjas. But yeah, that's the joy of what we do is like, it's like,
yeah.
ooh, every now and again, like, oh yeah, okay, that's kind of interesting. I may grab that.
Yeah, and I
That's
don't take the
why
time to do a lot of customs anymore, but I
right.
like to kit bash a little, and that's one of the things I
Again.
like about like Action Force. I've got all the main characters, and I follow their story, but then
Mhm.
I've got some that I kit bash that are my own little mercenary group, just because I wanna, because they're fun.
Again, I simply grabbed this because well, where'd you go?
It's
Okay.
cool. Yeah,
I grabbed this because I was just watching a bunch of people talk about it, and I was like, this seems cool. I played this character on the game. I like her. I just finally broke down and said I'm going to buy one, and I'm glad I did because I
and
like
that's
it.
something. Yeah, a lot of folks don't get. It's like you can just buy the figure you like. You don't have to buy the whole line. It's okay. you know.
Yeah, I might buy that, and I may buy
But it does.
Bison just to have her to have someone to fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's it.
yeah.
Bison's the other one. I kind of okay, I kind of like him, but as a
Got a
bad
cool
guy.
uniform. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and Raul Julia and all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Cheesy movie, but fun. Lots of fun.
absolutely cheesy movie, but it was very fun.
Yep.
But
One of these days we're going to do a convention or something and we'll get together and yeah. It'll
but in the
happen.
same vein, Largo's. I mean, I'm sorry, Wilhelm has turned me on to the acid versus beta stuff, and it's like I really want that mech base
Yeah.
and
Oh.
the cat dog or whatever it is robot.
Yeah. It's kind of
Yeah,
trippy.
yeah.
Yeah.
The bots look really good. I'm like, that's some stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
Uh, uh,
definitely
uh,
gonna pick it up.
yeah. Good storyline, fun
Mhm.
imagination, and inexpensive. You don't have to break the bank to pick that stuff up. We got
Right.
some fun coming Sunday. We're doing the mech contest. We've got some contestants that painted them up, did customs. They look good. So we'll do that Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I
It's
was wanting
fun.
to do something for that contest just to participate, and I never could find that damn mech.
Well, it was feast or famine there for a while. You could find them
Yeah,
at certain dollar, was it Dollar General or one of them that had dollar in the name. They had a whole bunch of them and
I've searched
pretty
Family
cheap.
Dollar and Dollar General, and I have not seen it.
The new ones should be coming. I think January we'll start seeing them on the shelves,
That's what
at least in the continental U.S.
yeah, that's what Wilhelm was saying to me too. It was like, yeah, that'll be cool.
Yep. And again, customizer's dream. They're inexpensive. You can tinker with them. You can do your own thing, or you
Mhm.
can do their thing when they got their own story going. So
Right.
either way's good.
I think so as well. Bacon's just looking like, what are you talking about?
Oh, I know what he's talking about, but like you, I've yet to come across anything.
Yeah, and here there's no toy market. I mean, they get a lot of the Chinese knockoffs if I go to the market here and see what they have. And around Christmas time, we'll get some of the big sets like they have at like Costco and places like that. Some of the stores here will get some of that, but none of the major line stores, unless I go to the big city, Guatemala City, which is like on the other side of the country. They have some modern stores. They've got your Walmart and Target and all that stuff there, but
Yeah.
I don't get to that side very often. I live in the boonies because I don't like people.
Yeah. I live in the boonies too, just because I live in the boonies. But yeah.
Yeah, big cities are not my thing, man. Too many folks all crammed into one area. It's like no matter it's why people are cranky if you don't have a backyard or a porch or something.
I
Yeah.
have a huge backyard.
Yeah. Gotta have
Somehow I
space.
found a house with a double lot.
Nice.
It's like, yes.
Well, in your vocation, you get out and see things all the time too. That helps. Sitting at a desk in a cubicle is a fast way to an early grave.
Yeah, but unfortunately, what I see are assholes in cars. So I mean,
Okay, that's a fair point. You got me there.
I mean, hey, I don't even sit in a cubicle anymore. I sit right here where I am right now.
Well, I mean, that can be good and it can be bad. I've talked to a
Yeah.
lot of folks who started doing work from home, especially since the COOF stuff, and they're like, I'm never off work because I don't have a designated space. It's like, man, you got to have a set up space. It's like, that's my workspace. This is my life space, and never the twain shall meet, or it gets
Yeah.
rough.
No, it's like literally workspace, life space.
Mhm.
That is how I got. That's how I got it.
I tried
that-
to have a workspace.
Now
at
the
home.
good thing is though, is like,
I took the house to
the other day. Well, no, this has been about 2-3 weeks ago. My daughter was sick at school. I had to run and get her because they were like, "Yeah, you need to get this little girl out of school."
Mm.
And I could just take, I got sick time at my job. Just take an hour sick time, go get her, bring her home. Now, if I was working in an office, I would have had to take the whole day
Right.
because I would have had to
You
take,
just don't have,
go
you
get her
don't
at
have the
school.
flexibility.
Right. Yeah, I would have had to go get her at school, bring her home. By the time I got her home, it would have been like, why go back to work now? You know?
Yep.
Yeah. So that was a little bit, that's a little bit of a convenience that I never thought about till it happened.
I think it's a good thing for the most part, but yeah, you got to plan a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
or your life gets out of balance, and you got to have a
Right.
little bit of balance. Chaos is fun, but some order now and then keeps you from going in the ditch. So
Yeah. My thing I think I need to start doing is exercising more because I really feel like I've gained a few pounds.
yeah, I'm guilty of that as well. I think my
I'm
treadmill is under most of the laundry. It's like it just becomes a
down,
laundry
but
rack.
I blame the diabetes for that. So
Mm. Yeah, with my dad, he has type 2 diabetes. That's what do you call that? It's not real horrible. He doesn't have to take the needle every moment, but he's got to watch what he eats, and he's got to, he's on that borderline kind of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I try to be mindful of that. I don't eat the garbage I ate when I was 20, but I still like a good beer and pizza now and then or more.
Right.
Oh yeah, those that's a lot more convenient
long
than
last-
the old ones. Yeah.
yeah,
So my dad takes something similar to that, but his was caused from being exposed to Agent Orange. I didn't even know that would cause diabetes, but apparently
I've never heard that before.
it's one of those things. He doesn't have diabetes in his family. Nobody else in the family has it. And when he went through the VA and got his disability stuff, they said this is one of the things we're going to check for because it's a complication of folks that got exposed to that in Vietnam. It's like, who knew? Weird.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
of
Trippy.
course, as a diabetic, I can look at a cheeseburger and my blood sugar goes up. So I mean,
Oh yeah. Dad's the same way.
apparently triggered by a lot of things.
Yep. Stress too. Stress is not good. But
I know my
Yeah.
mom's a diabetic, and yeah, all that stuff.
yeah, I'm also a big fan of do as I say, not as I do, because I chain smoke like a freaking chimney, and I know I'm not taking good care of myself, and I'm not a spring chicken, but
Right.
some habits are really hard to break. I do when I start getting into my depression cycle, I try to keep a checklist of, yes, stupid, get out of your chair, go take a walk, go get out in the sun, go do this or that, even if you don't want to, because it's easy to just get in a funk and just, get
Yeah.
into a rut, but you
Yeah,
gotta break it up.
mine is coffee on the back porch petting my cat.
Yep. I've got a back porch upstairs that I get my coffee going in the morning and I check and see if there's anything interesting on the interwebs and hanging out with the dogs. That's good therapy for me. Getting that morning sunlight. Of course, it wouldn't hurt if I got on the treadmill. It's on that back porch too, but it's there looking at me, accusingly. It's like
Largo, Largo,
exactly.
come
Walk on
play
me.
with me.
I used to
Push my
hike a
cat.
lot. I love hiking, and there's great and beautiful places here to go. But because I don't know all the snakes and critters, I don't want to go by myself, and I don't have a peer group here that's into hiking. So I just haven't taken the time to do it. But I should. It's silly that it's right here in my backyard and I don't go. But
Love hiking,
life
but
is yeah.
only home 36 hours a week, give or take. So it's like, yeah, I could walk around the truck lots, but you could only put on so much lot lizard repellent at any one time.
Lord of mercy.
And
Yeah. Oh, my
truckers are
uncles were.
disgusting, so
I was going to say
they post up videos
all
that,
my uncles were truckers, and I've heard most of the stories you probably have experienced growing up. So, yeah, things are interesting out there. It's like a whole different. It's a whole different culture at truck stops. They have their own little society.
to an extent,
Because they're just like little islands in the middle of nowhere in some cases. It's like that is
Yeah,
the
that's
only
true.
place.
absolutely, you could be at a truck stop and there's nothing else around forever.
Yeah.
And then you got some places where there's one right smack dab in the middle of Columbus.
Really?
Yeah.
That's yeah. I guess it kind of have to be for if
And
it's a
there's
main
one in
thoroughfare.
Fort Wayne, Indiana, that you could walk across the 4 different strip clubs. So it's like, okay. Somebody understood their audience. I mean,
It's true. It's like Dad being with the Marines a lot. You go just outside of the base gates. A lot of places it's strip club, tattoo parlor, surplus store, and pawn shop in a row.
liquor store.
Yeah, and liquor store.
Usually all
You
right in
never
the
buy
same
liquor
building.
off post because it's tax free on post.
Yep, that's true. But oh yeah, people are funny. They're fun to watch from a distance. Like when you ever go people watching sometime where you're just hanging out someplace and just see all the humanity that goes by, and it's like, Lord of mercy, what is the world coming to? It's a spectator sport.
It is.
Back in my local mall,
Yeah.
I was in one of the planter displays. Crikey, here we got an old couple hand in hand.
Yep. Malls and airports are a great place to watch people just be weird people and get a good chuckle.
Walmart 3 a.m. Oh, that you can't do that.
Walmart, period.
Oof. Walmart,
Yeah,
especially in certain southern cities, let's just say some interesting folks that like to wear things that they shouldn't wear out of the house. I'll just put it that way. It's like there's a limit to what that fabric can hold in, and spandex was not designed to do that.
Spandex is a privilege, not a right.
It's like if you look like you're wearing your footy pajamas and you're buying groceries, check yourself before you get out the house. I mean, I don't understand. When I was growing up, it was one of those things. It's like if you're going to leave the house, there's a standard: belt, shirt, comb your hair, or at least put a hat on, something. at nowadays, it's like they just kind of wander out of bed and just whatever, and just get in the car and go. And it's like, you know, it's like,
I took my
If
daughter.
they filming The
I
Walking Dead, no, we're having a sale on.
took my daughter
Insert
to the
anything
store
here.
in her
Yep.
footy pajamas.
yeah, but I'm sure she's not, you know, a 30-year-old, you know, Walmart shopper.
No, she's
But
almost 5, but you
yeah,
know.
there's a difference. It's cute when you're 5. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Don't get me
disturbing
wrong.
when you're
5-year-olds
35.
are the most opinionated people on the planet.
Well, yeah, but that's because you know everything until you're what, like 25, and then you forget it all.
Right.
I knew all kinds of stuff when I was in my 20s. I don't know anything in my 50s.
It's not that you forget it; it's that you look in the mirror and you go, "You know what? You were a dumbass."
Yeah, you just thought you were smart. It's like I was a smart feller in my 20s. Now I'm just a fart smeller in my 50s. I'm okay with that. It's all right.
Actually, you were a fart smeller in your 20s.
Everybody loves their own aroma.
That's true. All right, guys, I'm going to go play with the dogs because they're giving me the look. They want to go out.
Okay.
But it's fun hanging with you guys. I'm glad I caught you.
Cool.
Just one of those nights when I had internet working and I saw your thing up. It's like bacon goes with everything, man. Let's see what's going on. You guys have a good night. I'll catch you in the near future.
Okay, I'm going to probably head out.
Eventually, I'll figure all this thing out, and it'll go so much better. So, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me. We'll see you.
Bye.
Take care.
Oh goodness.
All right. So
that was.
Yep, I'm working on this review for Turkey Day because this is a turkey, buddy.
I've decided I'm going to do one of those pre-recorded lives for Christmas Eve, and it's going to be me in the white terry cloth robe and the Cousin Eddie hat, reading The Fight Before Christmas by the fireplace, which is just on the TV screen.
Oh, that's cool. I love it.
So yeah, that'll be fun.
Cool, man. All right, so we're doing a regular infinite bacon next week.
Definitely.
Okay. All right, I'll discuss some things with you on in PMs and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
We don't want to give away too much early.
Yeah, we don't want to like
every
actually
time we
promote this.
We put up the preview picture, and then like days later, somebody else, hey, we're discussing trolls and bullying.
Did somebody do that?
Really?
Okay, seriously, did somebody do that?
I'm just speaking hypothetically. It's like,
oh, okay.
I swear to God, it seems like every time we have an idea, I'm going through and somebody else is doing it, and it's like ours is going to be better.
Well, yeah,
because we've got infinite bacon.
We've got infinite bacon, and bacon goes with everything.
Yeah,
God, Todd. Add that now.
6-inch scale, 5-inch scale, and his head is missing, but you can see the point. 7-inch scale.
Right.
It's like, pick something conventional. Bastard. Your stuff scales with nothing except your stuff.
It doesn't even always scale with that.
And I don't need a Batman that scales well with the Goblin King from Labyrinth.
Leave it alone. Yeah. David Bowie had the
his early 7-inch line had a David Bowie figure.
Yeah.
He did a Kirk and a Picard. Did The Walking Dead in that line. It's just like Attack on Titan. Why do I need an Attack on Titan figure to scale with my Walking Dead? I don't.
Exactly.
He fell over and his guts fell out.
Oh, poor guy. Got no guts.
This one came in a 3-pack, and they're all colored in black and white, like in the comic.
Uh-huh.
But they're splattered with red, blood all over, basically.
Oh, that's weird.
And they're nice, but I want the more accurate looking one, so I got him. He's over there on the shelf. Got the RV walker. I just got to get the bicycle girl.
Okay. Well, dude, I'm going to head out.
Well, you do that. Good having you here, man.
Absolutely. Like I said, I didn't want to step on your parade, but like, it is easier to talk to somebody.
It is.
Yep.
I'm gonna get
All right,
back
you
to my
take
double.
care. I will see you on the next Infinite Bacon. Later.
Later, Tater. So we are at the 1 hour and 46-minute mark. I'm honestly surprised. I made it 1 hour and 46 minutes on my first stream. I'm as high as 5 viewers. Gotta love that. So fun little conversations with Jim and Robert. Started out just kind of blindly working on creating a dumpster for my dio. But I think it took a very positive step because the whole point of this was to just BS, bullshit, talk. And I feel we did that. Next time, Aaron, who were the other ones? Ted, T Dog. There's a link at the top. And I should have reminded you all earlier. If, next time I do one of these, click the link, jump in, share your thoughts. Love to see you, love to hear from you. But for tonight, I think I'm gonna call it a night. So, laughing my ass off. About what? Is it Jim Carrey? Don't put face in Jim Carrey. That's not really him. Run away, run away! Oh well. So we are. Oh, thank you, Ted. Appreciate you being here. We are going to give the quick little video I gave at the beginning, and then I'm out of here. Woohoo! Where'd it go? Huh?